Hi, it's Megan. I have made little secret of my new obsession with super, super dark lip colors this fall. This is a totally new look for me. I've never worn these super dark lip colors ever before. And you know what? I may never again. They're pretty dramatic, and this one is probably the darkest one I own. And I've gotten a couple stares when I wear it, or maybe I just feel like I've gotten a couple stares when I wear it. And I think that's kind of the thing about these shades. You have to feel really comfortable wearing them. And I'm not talking about like deeper reds or deeper berries. I'm talking about the ones that in the tube look like this, black. And on they look various shades of black depending on how sheer they are. So this is a Besame Noir red, and this is a blackened red actually, but it almost has like a cooler plum undertone to it, if you can see it in all the black. And so I've got a couple of blackened reds. Most of these are kind of blackened purples, and then they range from finish. So this is a matte finish. And since I don't have that many of these, it is a new look for me. I'm actually going to put all of these on. I did a video on choosing the right red. I did one on choosing the right nude, and in those cases I had way too many to put them on for the videos. It just was not practical at all. But in this case I don't have that many, and then I also want to show just kind of the different variations of the colors. So most of these are going to veer plum, and a lot of them are going to look black whether they're sheer on or not. But some of them are going to veer black and red. So how to do it. First, always undertones. I have kind of neutral undertones, so I can never go too cool. Mine are slightly warm. I can never go too cool or too warm, but I can wear the shades that are kind of in the middle. And with a lot of the cooler ones like the plums, I do highlighters. So let's start with the first undertones. Are you cool or warm? If you're warmer, be more careful with the purples. You can probably get away more with the reds. And if you're cooler, the purples are probably going to be just amazing on you. Then the highlighters. I have on Topaz by Becca right here and right here, because on me it's a very gold undertone. So since this was a cooler, in my opinion, lip, I wanted to add a little bit more warmth into my look. I will almost always use a highlighter and then a highlighter instead of eyeshadow with these types of colors, just because the lip is so strong. I just look goth or overdone or icky, just not appropriate when I do much else makeup wise. I don't even honestly like a lighter shadow with them. I actually prefer highlighters, mostly because if I think about it, none of these is really shimmery. Most of them are either sheer or matte, and so it adds a little bit more dimension to the look. Next of all, texture. Do you want matte? Do you want sheer? Do you want a little bit of a sheen? The matte's going to be more dramatic. Like this is about the most dramatic of them, which is why I started out wearing this one. And by the way, by the end, my face is going to be a mess, but that's okay. I look like a vampire. That's fine. But the sheers are the things that actually got me comfortable with starting to wear these kind of shades. And I had originally gotten one in one of these MAC punk rock collections, and it is one of the only used products that I've returned, especially to MAC, because I put it on and it was just something I couldn't, it was too dark. But I'm obviously gradually getting used to it. So the Besame color, I'm going to swatch it. It's so dark, right? I can't even, I have to. It's really a red, but it does have kind of a little bit of a purple undertone to it. Very matte. And the nice thing about these kind of shades is that they do usually wear well. The bad thing about these shades is that they don't always wear evenly. So I was actually wearing one yesterday. They stain. Sometimes they bleed. This Besame color is the only Besame that occasionally wanders onto my teeth. And they can feather. So the one I was wearing yesterday was really dark color that stained, but stained unevenly and then faded unevenly, and so I had to keep brushing it up. And I find that a lot of these colors are the hardest colors for a lot of brands to make. They tend to be like that. They can be a little bit more patchy, spotty. You need to touch them up more often, only because they're so dark that if they start fading, it really shows. So I've had a harder time getting good colors in this kind of shade range than in most others. And sometimes the way that translates in that, again, the sheers are easier to wear, but some of the formulas, like I've got a Kat Von D here, they tend to have these heavier formulas which wear better, especially with the darker, more unnatural shades. But they're heavy and they're maybe drying, and some people don't like that. Blush is so key. It was only when I was playing around with that punk rock collection at MAC that I learned how to wear some of these darker shades, and it all is the blush. So let me show you a couple blushes. I have my favorite blush for these that veer more purple, which is the Almeria by Nars, which was a limited edition. It's still possible to get, but not so easy to get. But from what I understand, Estee Lauder has a beautiful one. Lancome has some nice ones, although Lancome tended to be more shimmery. This one had almost no shimmer, which is what I liked. It's a deep plum, and you can see it's super, super pigmented. And I actually go a little bit heavier with the blush to balance out the lips than I do with other types of makeup, usually. But I need to wear a dark blush, period. End of story. Otherwise, it doesn't work. I just look completely washed out and like I don't know, who has dark lips? A vampire? Then I also have my other one that's a favorite is Mood Exposure. This one has the highlighter already in it. This is a plum. It's a little bit lighter, but it has the right undertone for these plums. And it has the highlighter, which I do need a lot of times also to kind of wake up my face and brighten it up. So I do have the highlighter here, and it makes me look a little bit less dead, which is a good thing. And then the last blush, if I have a more red toned, I love this blush. This is Blunt. I put this in my red video too because I think this is a really unusual blush. It's brownish, but it's got a really great undertone of red to it. So this again is going to give you, me, all of us, a little bit more definition to balance out the strong lip. And then mascara. Lots of mascara. Again, not too much makeup, but what you have has to define. Let me show you Topaz. I would also use Moonstone with the reds because they're a little bit warmer tone. With the purples, I might use a Moonstone, which is a white, or I might use like a platinum. With the purples, though, I have to be careful not to look too cool tone. And that's the other reason why I use this Topaz. This is really orange, or not orange, this is really gold on me, almost like dark, dark gold. And it adds a little warmth. So if you think about the color wheel, purple and yellow are on the opposite ends of the color wheel, and so that's also going to kind of make your eyes pop a little bit when you've got something that's a little bit more purple based. So this one isn't the most purple based, but I'm going to get to those. So what else was I going to add? Dark clothes. This look doesn't work with summery. I don't think it works with summery. Well, I'm in Southern California, so everything has to work with summery weather here because sometimes it's summery in December, January. Like right now it's been 80 in November. Heading into December, so don't wear summery clothes with it though. Darker works better, or white. What else did I have here? Watch the bleeding. Check up on your lip color more often. And so now I'm going to go to actually trying on some of the colors. So this one right here was a little bit more red, blackened red, with a little bit purple. Like I said, I'm going to be a mess. I want to show you the sheerness though. By the way I clean this up, oh, I lost my lipstick. The way I clean this up is just by putting more foundation over it. So this is the first dark one I got. And this is a no longer available, it's called Confession. It's by Urban Decay. I got this for $5. On the Urban Decay website. And this is no longer available. It's got that really dark purple thing going on, blackened purple though. I love this shade. When I first put it on, I hated it, but what I like about it is that because it's a little bit sheer, it's a little bit more even on in the application, and then it also wears a little bit more evenly, and I don't get bleeding with it. Another sheer. This one almost didn't make the cut, but I figured why not. This one is a patent polish by MAC. It's called Sultana, and I'll put the names of all of these in the. But again, it shows black here, so I figure that works. Sultana, MAC. Sheer, it's more wearable. This one's a little, I don't know, patchy. Not super patchy. It's a little patchy in the wear, which makes it harder. But I thought it was a good one to play around with. And then I think I have one more sheer one. This was Sweet Succulence from one of the matte collections. Again, a limited edition, sold out. It's actually very close to Sultana, it's Sweet Succulence, but a little bit redder. Sheer, I didn't do perfect application. It wears a little bit better, and the purple makes my eyes pop. So I really like this one. Again, I'm going to repeat it. I know I've done it like 5 times. The sheers tend to wear better. Then one that doesn't wear better, but which I really like anyway, is the Gucci Dark Romance. And I wore this in another video. This one's got more of a pink undertone. Again, it looks black in the tube, but you can see how reddish pink it is. And I really love this shade. I do think that it's a little harder to apply than some of the others, and it doesn't wear perfectly. So this is one I need to touch up after maybe an hour or so. For the heck of it, Vampira. This is the Little Kat Von D from last year's set. This is really more of a red, but I saw someone wearing this the other day. At Sephora. And I think this is just a good introductory. It's almost not quite as dark as the others. It's a great color. It's still available in the new formula. It's a blackened red with a cooler undertone. We're gonna have to ditch this in a minute. The NYX Simply Vamp. I paid about $4, $5 for these, and I only got 3 of them. I got 3, 4, and I think I got 6. I'll show you. Oops, it's broken. They do break. Okay, we're just gonna have to skip 3 because 3 is falling everywhere. Okay, we'll do 3. These break. Unbelievably. When they're not broken, this actually applies well. So this is like a blackened red. And it is more black than brown. I have warmer undertones. I cannot wear brown undertoned dark lipsticks. It's about as bad a look, I think, as I can do on me. But that's going to be the warmest of the bunch. Then number 4, which is the purplest of the bunch. And you can see as I'm doing these on camera, I do lipsticks on camera all the time. You have to be a lot more careful with the application because they're so dark. If you don't get it right, it really shows. I don't have that many more. But I just decided to do a couple of these longer videos, so why not? Okay, number 6 is a really fun color. What is this called? This is called She Devil. It's almost black, and you can see the fact that I didn't clean off my lips completely before putting this on doesn't matter. It's such a dark color. It's gonna just mute out everything that you had on before. Would I wear this color in the daytime? Personally, no, I wouldn't. This is the kind of thing where if I pick my kids up at school, they'll look at me and they'll just shake their head and go, "Mom, really?" But I would wear it at night. And these were the first colors this year I really experimented with because they were so cheap. You can already see my lips are staining. Since they're staining, let's do the Tom Ford next. This is one of my favorites, maybe my favorite. Black Dahlia by Tom Ford. Very purple. It's a matte. It's less black on, but again, it's almost black in the tube. I think it's just a gorgeous color. Really, really amazing. It almost has, well, it does have like almost a slight red tone to it, so it's not quite as harshly purple as some of the others. And I think, oh God, it's all over my face. I think the purples are great with blue eyes. I think though, if you have super warm coloring, you have to be careful with these. The next one, this is the Kat Von D Motorhead. So this is a black and red. And they do have a black and cherry too. I personally think this looks more black and cherry to me, but this is a matte with a stiffer formula. Some reviewers have said it's patchy. I don't find it patchy. I would not wear this with this blush though. I would wear this with the blonde blush. Then from the Beauty Insider, Marc Jacobs. This was for VIB Rouge only. I'm going to need more fresh. This one I didn't love only because, so this is Cabaret. I didn't love it. It's not quite as black, but I did when I first put it on say, wow, it's too black. It's a very soft, high sheen formula, but on me this one bleeds a little bit. Not bad as some of the others in the collection, but it's a very pretty lipstick if you are good with liners. And I guess I forgot about that before. I have two more and then I'll stop with this. But as far as liners are concerned, it's really hard to match liners. One that's really good is Black Dahlia by OCC. I keep trying to buy it, but it keeps being sold out, so I think I'm not the only one that feels that way. That one does have, it's a black and red, but it's so black. And I guess the other thing, it's so black that it almost works with all of these. But it's hard to match, so I would do a sheer lip liner. And then Dark Side by MAC. This is part of that punk rock collection. It's a matte. This is the one I didn't return. And Cyber is also one. Again, a little bit more red, super dark. Cyber is another one in the collection that is a regular collection one as well that's been in some of these punk rock collections like every year, but has the darkened thing going on. And then the last one, this is the one I was wearing yesterday and I really like it, but this is the one that stains and wears a little inconsistently after about an hour. That'll be covered in foundation in a minute. This is Live, the Nars Audacious, and it's a really pretty color, but starting about an hour to an hour and a half, I did have to start watching this one to make sure that it wore evenly. And for those who saw the video with the review of this shade, I will just point out, it looks so much better. I can see it over there in the camera. It looks so much better without that black eyeliner I had on, which made me look totally goth and horrible. So anyway, that is my video on the deep, dark colors that swatch, or not necessarily swatch, but look almost black in the tube, and how you can actually make them work if, like me, all of a sudden you're obsessed with them this year because they seem to be everywhere. Thanks very much. Please subscribe on YouTube. I would love to hear about other colors you like. If you have any favorites among these, I would like to hear that too, because like I said, this is the kind of thing where my kids just shake their head and go, Mom, really? So I'd love a compliment on at least one of them. And then, although I know some of you like these shades like I do. And then also, I'm putting my book back on, Masks, which is a novel on YouTube. I've got 10 chapters up, and I should have 11 up in the next 2 days. It's about makeup and the masks we wear. Thank you very much, and happy holidays.